ask you that question. How do you keep, because I'm sure now building a brand, you have everybody who wants to get coffee with you, meet you, the whole thing. How do you handle that?
That's a great question. And honestly, this is something that I feel like nobody really prepares you for. Like
Right.
people don't talk
Thank
about.
you. I'm gonna listen to this because I think I've handled it better now, but I want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to hear vice versa too. But I think specifically, and maybe it's just people pleasers in general. I like don't want to generalize this to women, but I will say, I think I've noticed a lot of women struggle with people pleasing even more. And I always say like I'm a recovering people pleaser. So learning that like your time is the most valuable asset, I think is a really hard switch to make. Because when I first started my business, I'm like, I genuinely have a good heart. I'm like, I want to help everybody. I want to meet for coffee with everybody. Like, I want to be able to like
Same.
do
Same.
all of this. But I've realized that it's more selfless for me to conserve my energy. And like, it's more selfless for me to be able to reach like millions of people than it is for me to give like 20 hours of my week on one on.
You're amazing. I've done a lot of interviews, just, a little feedback. You're a great interviewer, too.
Never lose that magic, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff J, here to make your day, host of the Make More Money podcast, and also founder of Change Life Consulting. Listen, if you're interested in coming out and spending a VIP day here with me in the best part, because I'm here, Midtown Miami, then this might be just for you. Now, listen, if you're looking to get your mindset right, scale your systems, and build a brand or anything on social media and get good at copywriting, get access to templates, and a leak into everything we've done. Now, since I moved here 4 years ago, okay, since then I hosted my own mastermind, right, in Cancun. We also wound up doing a whole event that I want to speak on stage with some of the biggest people. I spoke and got paid to speak and helped other people get paid from anywhere from 5 to 15K to speak at events, right? A lot of cool stuff. And we have our new book coming out called My Dreams Keep Me Awake. Actually, anybody who buys or pre-orders the book, if you're seeing this video, aside from VIP Day, I'll pick one person that I'll get lunch with you for just investing in my journey and pre-ordering the book too. We'll put you in a raffle and that'll be great. But on top of that, if you're really interested in this, it's three-part. Listen, not everybody can just buy it. We want you to actually be the right fit for it. So first thing we're gonna go over is your mindset and make sure your mindset is good. Mindset's key on any block that you're going. Then after we do that, okay, we're gonna give some systems that you can actually use to scale out your brand or your business, whichever one it is, whether it's a personal brand or it's a business on the online space, okay? Just like we've done with many other clients. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna break for lunch. We'll probably either go to my spot right here, Ziva restaurant, or we'll maybe cook up at the grill. It's a beautiful grill up here. Then that's when now we get in the nitty gritty. Now we're gonna give all the SOPs, all the systems, just like how I scaled out a couple of virtual assistant businesses. Now we have one, Bethel Core and PowerWorks, that we use, and they use a lot of systems in here daily, and just stuff that you need. If you're not a systems person, find you the right person for that. This is great no matter whether you're doing multiple millions or you're at your first 10K online. This might be the fit for you to build out a VIP day if it's the right product market fit. All right, so click the link below, apply, and we hope to see you at the next VIP day. Go. All right, welcome back to the Make More Money podcast. I've never been more excited to have Natalia, not Natalia,
That's right, Natalia.
Natalia on this podcast. And the reason why is back when I started my journey, I went to an event and I came across something authentic, people that are authentic about their brand and how they do their content. I always like to highlight and bring them on. I'm not for all the like, there's a way to do content, and the way she does it is one of the best. She did a multi six-figure marketing agency. Now she teaches women to start their own as well. I'm a big fan of that. People always complain that there's not enough women on stages or enough women's. She also came back from my friend and who I have a couple closers for, Shelby Saps, Women in Wealth Conference, where I found her. But I'm gonna let her do an introduction. Go ahead.
Yeah,
30
Jeff, thank
seconds.
you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to chat and just talk about how I started my business and how I help other women do it too. But yeah, no, for sure. 4 years ago, when I was 21 years old, I had gotten my degree in marketing. I landed a really great corporate job. I'd even done time in high ticket sales. But I just realized like I was always so obsessed with adventure, and I wanted to live a life with freedom, like not just financial freedom, but time freedom, getting to spend my day doing things that are meaningful to me. And I realized that so many brands out there were paying $2,000 to $5,000 per month for social media management, a skill that girls are inherently great at. What do they do after work, after we're at our coffee shops, after like you're working your 9 to 5. Most girls are posting Instagram stories. I was one of those girls, realized that if I learned how to sell, I could help brands get a ton of customers through organic social media. And then over time, when I was looking for mentors and resources and people to help scale my agency into a multi six figure social media management agency, they were all dudes. There was no girls out there helping the women on a skill that was so inherently valuable and natural to them. So, yeah, I started just naturally helping girls, helped other girls scale six-figure companies. And then I just realized there was all of these women-owned brands who needed girls in social media, all of these girls who wanted to find a way to be moms, stay at home, travel the world, and fulfill their dream life. So I started the Dream Life Academy, and now I run both businesses. It's been really, really fun. And yeah, I feel like the luckiest girl in the world to do what I do.
Yeah, no, it is really good. So just, a little bit of background here. I started a social media marketing agency,
Yeah.
like company back when I first started. I bought a course, figured out how to do it, right? I was one of the guys. And then I quickly realized I didn't love doing that, but I love the coaching aspect and the copywriting. So I kind of hung in copywriting since then, doing a lot of learning how to sell through DMs. But and one of the things, what was the main thing, kind of what you were doing before? Because I see so many girls come in here. We have another girl who's on the Make Brown podcast, Stefania Campo. Okay, she does women's group coaching, helps women with sales, right, and everything. But um she rebranded a different brand, right? Did you stay to your true brand and do it? I see so many girls do that when they go to start. Do you stay to that brand or do you switch?
Yeah, well, I think the really cool thing with social media management is so many girls out there are sold the lie of like being an influencer is the best route to take to make online money. And so the coolest thing is honestly, before I even started posting online, I had already built a six-figure social media management agency because your brand's not really relevant to the company at all. Like brands are paying you to help them grow their account. So every local business that you see, whether it's your hair salon, your dentist office, your local med spa, when you go to get your nails done, when you go to the local Pilates studio. And then on top of that, you have all the e-com brands and all the online services, the cycle syncing companies. Like 80% of brands out there are targeting women anyway. So you can build, like what I will say for a lot of girls out there, they're like, well, do I need a social media presence? Do I need a personal brand? I'll come back to answering like, how do you stay true to that? Well, you don't even need to be an influencer to make money doing this. Because again, like you're, you go to your hair salon, you go to your med spa, and especially if you pick clients who have a lifetime value of over like five to $10,000 for every new client you bring them. Yeah, they give you the logins on their account, and then you don't even need a personal brand to make it work. Like I rarely even advertise online about my own marketing agency. So you were asking like, what was your question? Like how I've
So
stayed
so
true to
many
the
girls
brand?
would come to me back in the day. A lot
Yeah.
of my target client were
Yeah.
women, and they'd come to me and they're like, "Well, I want to start a business, but I've been posting this way on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to post this way." So they wouldn't keep their
Totally.
same one; they'd start a different one.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the big thing with this entire industry is it's really hard to start an online business where you have to become the expert in a field. You have to post all of these times a day. You have to become viral. So all of these girls, honestly, what I do with a lot of these girls is tell them that you don't even need your personal brand. You just need to learn how to sell. So I teach them how to walk in locally with business and network online. So your personal brand's kind of irrelevant because you're managing the back end of these companies. But yeah, I think regardless of whatever it is that you, if let's say I'm talking to a girl right now who like you're saying she's been posting a certain way, she wants to start her social media management agency. Whatever it is that you're into, there are brands, every brand wants somebody who represents their ideal customer profile to be representing them online. So let's say that I'm working with a cycle syncing app, who's very like all natural, holistic health, like anti-birth control. They're not going to want a girl who's like using a bunch of non-toxic products or like posting with fake eyelashes and doing all those things to be managing her account. So if you're somebody who like let's say is really into outdoor hobbies and your whole brand up until this point you've been posting about like hiking, adventure brands, like all of that type of stuff and you're like I want to start a social media management agency. Perfect. Like you can reach out to outdoor brands who aren't going to want the city girl who's like posting in Miami with the flashy car. Like they're going to want the girl who's hiking. So honestly, like the best advice that I will give people is like lean into what you've already built. There are brands who need somebody like them to represent them online. Like they don't want, again, same thing. That's why there's like such a niche in this market. Brands don't want somebody who's never had a period to be managing an account, like showing girls like how to track their cycles and how to use their app that they're on subscription for. So yeah, the best advice I could give is like lean into it. Like lean into whatever brand you already have to attract clients who are because every brand is like yeah, every any any interest that you have, any brand that you've built around your core values, there are thousands of companies out there who need you to represent them. And the things that make you you, you don't have to change them. Like that's exactly why they're going to hire you over the next person.
Okay, cool. Well, I was just saying that so hopefully they hear from you and not from me. Let's go back though, because like you're an adventure junkie like myself, right? I love wakeboarding and all that stuff too as well. I saw one of your videos you do that you can go watch it later on, where you're up there doing the whole content on it, which is ingenious and awesome. But when did this all start? Like go back to when you were young. When were you an adventure junkie? You want to get into in business and being a business owner, you have to kind of be kind of like that. So where did that all come from in your beginning?
Yeah, totally. So I grew up in Dallas, Texas. My parents are from Eastern Europe. Nobody in my family did extreme sports, like nobody. But my whole life, like I was so obsessed with the ocean and surfing, and I was like, I want to make it out to the ocean someday. Like I want to be a surfer girl. Like I had this image in my head. I followed all the influencers who were surfers. I was on Pinterest. So I actually didn't start extreme sports until I was in my 20s. I had grown up doing like rhythmic gymnastics and was on acro teams and played a bunch of like normal sports, did cross country, basketball, volleyball, like all the things, was always active. But it really wasn't until I dropped out of college. So I graduated high school in Texas, moved to college in Tennessee, was there for 2.5 years, and then I got a sales and marketing internship in Hawaii. So I dropped out, moved to Hawaii at like 19. And while I was over there, I picked up a surfboard, fell in love with it. I wasn't good, but I had so much fun. I was out there probably, like I was out there 2 times a day, like before and after work when I wasn't selling at my internship. That's what I was doing 24/7. Started making videos about it. And that's actually the first video of mine that ever went viral was, I had a surfboard and I was like on a surf skate, like talking about like how all I wanted to do was do adventure hobbies. And then from there, eventually, like I ended up getting my skydiving license. I ended up moving to Idaho so I could learn how to snowboard. So I went like 40 days that winter. So, I mean, again, that was a huge part of building my business was, I just wanted time. I was like, if the snow is good, like I want to be out there
Right.
snowboarding. Like I will work 12 hours a day, but like let them be my own hours. And yeah, like that's how I got into it. And then it's kind of crazy. I'll honestly say, I think the extreme sport community is underrated networking. Like a lot of people don't realize it, but there's only two types of actually there's a lot of I just posted a video about this and got a lot of controversy. Some of the best business deals that I've done, some of the best clients that I've come into contact with have all been people I've met either skydiving, skiing, or surfing. And I will say a huge reason for it is there's only two categories. Like you're either broke because you do those hobbies, so you're kind of dirtbagging it, or you have enough time and income where there's all of these business owners who, like, what kind of person's going to throw themselves out of a plane? Like usually they have to have a certain level of risk tolerance. Like there's a certain type of person who does it. And yeah, so truthfully, like when I started posting online, so much of it I was really originally, that's why my account name is Natalia Adventures. I was just sharing myself getting into all of these things as an adult. And I think too many people, once they become an adult, stop playing. They stop allowing themselves to be beginners at things. And I think a lot of the skills that are required and the tenacity and the grit and the character that's required to put yourself in extreme situations where you're like, okay, how am I going to get my mind to like be still and control and like pull my parachute while I'm falling like 120 miles out of the air towards the ground, like plummeting towards my death. Like, if you can control your mind in that situation, it gives you so much like FU confidence to be able to walk into a room and be like, no, I have what it takes to put in the hours that's going to be required to build my business. Like, if you're willing to put yourself out there and put yourself in situations that you're learning something as a beginner, as an adult, you're going to be just fine. And at least I think that'll give you so much of a good skill set that you can then translate over to business and be like, you know what, I'm willing to suck at this long enough to get good. I'm willing to learn this high leverage skill. I'm going to be willing to learn to sell. I'm okay with rejection because I'm exposing myself and like training my body to be able to handle these hard things so that my mind is capable of doing it too. But yeah, that was kind of the beginning journey and I'm obsessed with it. I tell everyone, if you haven't skydived, you need to go skydive.
No, that's so true. And by the way, yeah, I got obsessed with I was a teacher. I taught coding video and music studio. One of the girls who had a lake house was like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to wakeboard and get up the first time." And it's
Mhm.
just when people tell me I can't do something, it's like watch, right? And then
Yeah.
I just fell in love learning that. And then even before I moved to Miami, when I was in Connecticut, I think someone challenged me on a boxing match. So I wound up taking a boxing match and it was great. And I grew up playing sports my whole life. So you've always been pretty competitive, right? Playing sports, you
Oh,
said
totally.
basketball all that time too, right? Which helps in that. What's so where did you first tell us about like your first client you got and who's like the best client that you have to talk about that dream client?
Totally. So within my own like marketing
Yeah.
agency, how I started it actually is really funny. I just finished that sales and marketing internship in Hawaii.
Oh,
And
that's
I
right.
was in between. My parents were wanting me to finish college because I had like a full scholarship for it. And I was sitting in my classes and I was like, everything is so outdated. At least the schools I were at, I was like, these marketing teachers haven't been in the industry for over 20 years. And
Good.
even,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna
yeah,
ask about your degree because I went to college too, and then I dropped out because of the same reason. I was like, I'm done.
yeah,
So
I'm like, why am I? It's like taking relationship advice from somebody who's like single. It's like, why would you do that, right? So I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to these professors teaching me business classes when like 6 out of 10 of them don't even run a business. And I'm
yeah.
like, and then in the day and age of AI and automation and marketing and social media, I'm like, they're not teaching me anything that's relevant. So anyway, my parents were wanting me to go back to school. I was like, give me one gap year. So they were like, okay. So I was taking my gap year and I had moved up to like North Idaho so I could be close to a ski resort and snowboard. I was dirtbagging. I was like, I want to be out here. I was working 3 jobs at the time. And I was barely able to afford like $3,000, or I was only making $3,000 a month. I was barely able to afford like a place that I was living at for like $500 a month. I literally had no kitchen, or $500 a month, had no kitchen in it. I was really rough, like roughing it at the time. All I wanted to do was snowboard. So I was working 3 jobs. I was working at a coffee shop, at a church, and then I was also working as a yoga instructor. So at this studio that I was a yoga instructor as, and we'll come back to how I got my first client, but uh, I was listening to all of these podcasts online about social media management. I was like watching YouTube videos, reading really good books on marketing, like Start with Why, or like all of the entrepreneur. I was like so deep into my learning phase. And I go to this yoga studio slash med spa owner. It was like a combination. And I was like, hey, like you guys should try this for your social media. Like there's this trend that's happening. Give it a try. Gave it to her. And the video took off. And so she comes back to me and she's like, how much do you charge for consulting? So me being like a 20-year-old girl who like, again, no experience, knows nothing. I'm sitting there and I'm like, let me chat GPT this. So I'm Googling and I'm like, how much can you charge for consulting? And I was like, wow, these rates aren't bad. So I went back to her and I was like, I charge $800 for 4 sessions, which at the time for me was crazy. I was like getting paid $200 an hour to give this girl social media advice. And she was like, perfect, like, let's do it. Do you have time next week? So here I am like chat GPTing, how to structure social. I had no idea what I was doing, right? All I had was like YouTube University and like the guts to sell myself and then figure it out after. So I sit down with her, start giving her advice. She's like, do you want a full-time job? So I'm like, okay. I was so excited. I was like, first thing I learned was that business owners did not care about your degree, specifically with social media and marketing. All they care about is if you can get them new leads and results for their brand. That's all they care about. They don't care about your age. You could have 40 years. And even like I have a lot of friends who are high up executives at like Microsoft or companies like that. And when they're looking to hire now, specifically in marketing departments, like they don't care if you've had 40 years at some big corporation. Like it's who can learn the fastest with what's happening and what trends are happening and like what's happening right now in like lead generation for companies online. And I'm sure similar to like how it is with copywriting, et cetera. But I ended up going to her. She gave me a full-time job. I was so grateful. I was so happy. I was like, I can't believe I'm getting paid to get facials and take yoga classes. However, it was hourly. So I was still getting paid like $26 an hour. Knew nothing about business. Nobody in my family was an entrepreneur. So I, again, was working $26 an hour. I was working 9 to 5. I was realizing that I was making my work hours longer, even though the ads I was bringing the business were making them 10K plus. Like for every new client that I brought them, it was like $10,000 of value for their business for the med spa.
Yeah.
But the better I got at my job, the less I'd get paid. Because even if the ad that I was creating was bringing them 10K, I learned how to do it in 30 minutes. Therefore, I'm only getting paid $13. I was like, this is this sucks. This is not it. So, yeah, my boyfriend at the time, maybe it's similar to the course you went through. He like bought me like Iman Ghazi's course on like how to start a marketing agency.
I know Iman. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, so he bought me that at the time. And like, honestly, like, wasn't crazy. It just gave me permission to go out there and be like, yeah, like, what that course helped me realize was even if business owners, like the marketing agencies that you see in town that have a huge reputation, even if the owner knows what they're doing, a lot of times they're charging $10,000 retainers for these companies to do marketing for them per month. They're hiring an 18-year-old girl who has no idea, like knows nothing about marketing to actually do the fulfillment of the work. And so I was like, wait, like why, like if I can go work for a marketing agency fulfilling it for them, like why can't I just charge my own retainers and make it make more sense for brands? So I went to my hourly job and I was like, listen, right now you guys are paying me $3,000 a month. Pay me 2,000. You're going to be my first client. Or not my, I was like, pay me 2,000. I'll give you all of the same deliverables as what I'm giving you right now. You're going to save $1,000 a month, but we'll make it remote. And yeah, and we'll make it through my own business.
What job was that? That was the med spa?
That was med spa. That was my very first client ever. Yeah, they were amazing. I'm so great. I'm still friends with the owners to this day, but like they truly are what kickstarted my agency. So got a guess from that. At the same time, when I was in Hawaii, I had sold a mattress to this because I was selling bamboo mattresses when I was in Hawaii. I had sold to this online business coach, or she was like a fitness and nutrition coach. So she told me, if you ever want a job, call me. I called her. I was like, I can't live off $2,000 a month. I have one client, but now I need more. So I called her and I was like, hey, do you still need a job for sales? Took a high ticket sales job with her. So I had one client, a high ticket sales job where I was like, let me make all my mistake on someone else's brand. Let me learn how to sell for them. Learn like sales psychology, was coached by a coach at the time, learned high ticket sales. And then I was like, even though I was making good money, I was like, I don't want to be on Zoom calls 40 hours a week.
What was the high ticket sales for?
For a fitness and nutrition offer. Yeah, for a girl that I knew. And then from there, I sold probably less than 2 months, started networking with business owners and super quickly, like if you have a $2,000 per month retainer, which is low for the social media management world, but like at that rate, I just started networking with clients. I'd be at my dentist appointment. I'd be like, hey, you guys need social media management. Here's how much money it can make you. Like, give me a shot. Sold them, like did the same thing. I just kept networking. And then, yeah. And then within 6 months.
Did you find an avatar of people? Because so I kind of,
Yeah.
we have kind of a very similar story, right?
Really,
So
yeah.
I bought a social media marketing agency course, did it because I coded my own software and I started selling my software to social media agencies when it was like the rise back when Amon was like first starting out kind of in a way. And then I got good at webinars and I was able to sell webinar for like 12K pops, right? So out of that, it led to then people flying me out and doing consulting for them, right? Flying me out, hotel, etc., right? So kind of in the same way. So, but you said when you were with the med spa, you were also at church, and you said something else you were doing.
I was working 3 part-time jobs before that. So as soon as I got my first client, within 6 months, I had enough clients I was making like 10K per month within 6 months of starting my business, and from there was able, like 4 years in now, we've scaled it to be multi-six figure. You asked me my favorite client. So I did find my niche. Eventually I realized that women-owned wellness brands were my jam. Like I said before, there's an avatar for everybody, whatever you're interested in. I'm a huge biohacker. I love health. I love wellness. I love everything like women's health related. So some of my favorite clients are the Lively Cycle app. They have like over 4 million users. I help scale their brand to over 6 figures. I even run a podcast for them. Like they're amazing. But that's some of my favorite clients. I've gotten to work with brands like Upgrade or Update, like the company that Kim Kardashian just owned. I helped them with ad creatives. I've helped so many businesses, Danger Coffee. I work with sunglasses brands. I mean, all sorts of I work with all sorts of e-commerce companies, all sorts of women-owned wellness companies, all sorts of like luxury sauna. Like it's really, really fun. I get paid to do wellness and like work with women business owners. So that's like the dream. And then you talk about like getting flown out to places. Like people don't realize, in my opinion, if you build it right. I think a lot of social media, a lot of agency owners that I talk to are stressed all the time. They have high churn. They're never making enough money. I haven't faced that in my business because I just learned how to get really strategic with who I was working with, and I've kept clients for 4 years. And again, now I built a business coaching girls how to do the same thing. But it's been really cool. Like one of my girls, Amanda, because I've had a lot of girls be like, "Well, Natalia, it must just be your personality. It must just be like you just got lucky." And I'm like, "No, I learned how to sell. Like it was truly high ticket sales that helped me with the whole business." But I worked with a girl, Amanda. She came to me. She had had a marketing agency for 2 years. She was making $5,000 a month. 2 months after working together, she billed $17,000 in her agency, and now she's like climbing, which is insane. But getting to help so many other girls, like I've created a repeatable process for women on like you can have no experience and you need to learn how to sell with value versus most marketing agencies, they'll come to a pitch and they'll be like, let me tell you all about myself. Let me tell you how I charge $10,000. Let me tell you about all of the client accounts they've worked with. Like brands don't give a crap like what you've done. Like they want to know the strategy that you can solve for them. So anyway, there's so much more I can talk about with that, but I'm on a rant here. So
No, no, I love it. I love how you communicate, how you talk, because it reminds me very much of myself and how I've done it, and somebody else too. It's funny that you say wellness because this is with the client that was also on the podcast. I sent her a thing of Next Health
oh,
of the
I love
ad,
to
and
see
she's
it.
like, "Told you." She's like,
Yeah.
"We were way ahead because she got into the wellness spot as well." So let me ask this: you so obviously you got into this. What was your main like your main why? Like, what's your dream life? Like, where you're trying to go to? Because at this time, because I kind of got there, I wanted to get to the coffee shop, right? Was my goal. I lost my brother, passed away, so that was my goal. And I started building other people's dreams for a while. I signed a couple $50,000 clients, gave everything I did to them because our guarantee was we'd make you 100K, we give you your money back. And people
Love it.
started doing it after like a 250 call. And then I wound up just really just getting so fed up personally with like just building dreams and people telling me I'm not ready to do my coffee shop. So I want to get as close to the coffee shop thing as I could, right? Which became Ziva and Heal and all the opportunity that I have in Miami now, which I love. However, I just bought a paid ads mastermind because do you run paid ads or no?
I do run paid. I mean, I think like most agency owners, when I started, I did everything. I did paid ads, I did websites, I did social media. Now I only do social media management and you like creative strategy for paid ads, but I run my own paid ads for my own company. So I'm very
Yeah,
familiar.
so we run ads internally, but we don't run
Yeah.
ads for other people, kind of same deal. And
Yeah.
really what I was getting paid over, kind of probably similar to you, was looking over the copy on these ads for other companies, right?
Yes.
And it was the same deal.
Yeah.
So when you have a marketing brand and I that just we're doing a new course called Common Sense Copy, right? Or Copy That Converts. Because to me it was just common sense. I remember getting flown out, putting it into these business owners who had this whole brick and mortar, and they're like, do this. I'm like, yeah, you should just try and say this. Like, really, that worked? Okay, when can you come back? Kind of the same type deal, right? So
I wanted to piggyback off what you just said, where like how important copywriting is for brands and even for social media management. I think a lot of marketing agencies out there are really just creative agencies who
yeah.
say they do marketing. So like I've noticed that like so many brands get fed up because like 8 out of 10 marketing agencies are just videographers with a fancy camera who can make you a really pretty piece of art. And again, no like shade, like that's an incredible skill, but
Yeah.
that's not the same thing as like a piece of content that's going to convert for brands. And so much of that has to do with like just understanding like the text that's on top. Like, does this solve a pain point for the ICP? Like, I mean, you can speak more to this than me, but like, is it savable and shareable if it's for organic content? Like, if I just take like, let's say I'm selling this phone case, just taking a video of the phone case is going to do nothing for selling it for the company. But like, it's all about the copy that's on top of the edits.
Yeah, it
And
is. And
that's
literally what it was with AI coming out. I started two VA companies in the Philippines. So we have two virtual assistant companies. Do you work with
yeah,
any VAs or no?
I do. Yeah, I have great VAs. I love
Okay,
them.
so where I made the mistake was I built somebody else's dream of VA company before then. But with AI and ChatGPT coming out, I thought, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do copy anymore. But what I've realized is there's so much AI slop out there, really, for lack of a better word, that
Yep.
still today I can still get, the $2,000 a call I was getting back then because they're still getting stuck and everybody thinks they can do it, right?
I would even
So,
argue it's more valuable. Like it's
yeah.
more valuable now than ever because you can smell AI from like a mile away and people have forgotten how to use their own creative brain. So like when you read good copy that's written by a human, like it resonates. And I think that's why people like Shelby, like they write all of their own copy. Like people
Yeah.
like,
So does Gary V.
yeah.
You know Gary V?
Yes.
So he'll write, and you can tell any true like business or marketer will be is so true. And by the way, I was like sold a bag of goods like anybody else. Like, okay, let me try and generate more content with AI and just do it. And it
Yeah.
felt disingenuous. And I did it, right? And I did some of it. And I started Substacks and all that stuff. And I just wanted to test it. And I realized, yeah, this doesn't hit. And then I wrote some of my own. And it was actually, I had one of my She Sells girls because we do a lot of email copy, headline and stuff. And I was writing my personal like dating, like this girl who broke my heart here, right? So I wrote it in an email thing of like why to be better, right? And I remember Amber being like, shout out to Amber. She was just like, Jeff, you cannot write your personal diary on your email. It's like, yeah, but you got to see the open rates, right? And maybe there less is more, but with marketing, more is more when it's more authentic to that as that avatar, right? And because a lot of people on my website were, guys who got their girls broken, hearts broken, they resonated with that content, right?
Yeah,
So
you can outsource. I will say, like, I think the more and more people I meet who've built incredible companies, almost all of like the advice I've gotten from everybody who's running like multi six-figure months like in their online businesses, they all say they will use AI to automate and outsource everything except for the actual content that they're creating, which was like so mind-boggling for, again, not everyone, obviously there's exceptions, but I guess all the people who I look up to and the reason why I structure my business I do, like the highest leverage thing you can do in your own business is your own creative. Like I truthfully stand by that.
it's funny because
But
in
yeah,
the inner circle I run or whatever, the Changing Lives community, it's like my Dream Life Academy, right?
yeah,
Everybody wants to know how to do AI documentary videos, and we're gonna do them. We're doing those now. They're all taking over. They're viral. They're doing it,
yeah.
and they're fine. And it's a way to do more content. But I never try and get away from like the easy way shortcut, right? I don't really try and do that. I try and do as long as it's authentic to everything. So, but what's your whole thought of AI and where it's going now with everything?
Uh, Man, AI excites me, I think, because the people who Um, I will say, I think the people who are able to unplug, the people who take time to like actually sit with pen and paper, um, I
Us.
think that those people are going to have such a competitive advantage over everybody who needs AI. Like, I think AI is going to be such a tool for those people because they're using their own creative strategy with AI's ability to like AI, like what used to be really valuable, like ideas weren't what's it called? Like ideas in the past weren't as valuable as systems. Like being able to build an app was a crazy thing. Being able to create a website, being able to edit a video a certain way, like that was like a very high leverage skill. Now that's easy. Like you can use AI to do anything, which I feel like unlocks the door for so many people to build wealth. And the question is, it's like now your idea is the most valuable thing that you can have. So I truly think in a day and age like the creative person, like this is there's a huge opportunity. I think it's never been more accessible to build anything that you want without having a massive team. It's never been easier to build seven-figure companies with the leanest teams ever and using agents and doing all the things that you used to have to pay so much money for, and anybody can do it. So I hope that more people have more awareness of it. And even like with social media management specifically, I mean, there's some controversy on this, but I don't think it's going anywhere because I think having humans, like the only thing AI is going to do is streamline how fast the work gets done. But when it comes to like actually creating a creative strategy and being able to like resonate with people and create like yeah, a strategy that's going to sell for the target customer, like I think there's more of an opportunity than ever. You did ask me earlier about my dream life, and I don't think I answered it.
Yeah, I was gonna get back to that. So
Yeah.
what's your dream life look like? You've crushed so many goals where everything is. Where
Oh
do you
my
go
gosh.
from here?
We are barely scratching the surface. Like I am a baby entrepreneur in the scope of like I've achieved like I have two multi six-figure companies, but like that's nothing compared to what we're building. So my why, that's what you asked about earlier, is I want to live a meaningful life filled with meaningful people. And like one of my philosophies, even within my businesses, is I care about my quality of life more than I care about income, but I'm going to build these businesses in a way where we can achieve like massive scale of impact both for people and brands within both businesses in a way that like for me like my definition of success is like living with a regulated nervous system. So like there's certain clients where like I've been offered insane like five-figure per month contracts that I've turned down just because I'm like the stress that will be required in order for it to work like doesn't it's just not worth it for me. So again, I build my companies with dream clients. I'm like, I would way rather like progress slowly, but only work with people like waking up and being excited about the work I'm building. Like that is success to me. I want to be a mom and have a family and be able to have companies that are generating like millions of dollars, like without me having to work like 40 hours a week in the business. Like that is my vision. Like that is success to me. Getting able, like my vision for the academy is to change hundreds of girls' lives and help empower. My like long-term vision is I would love to start a nonprofit helping single moms or underprivileged like people coming from poverty or underprivileged communities who have ambition and have drive but need a vehicle that's going to take them out of their situations, or moms who are working 4 to 5 jobs just so that they can like keep a roof over their kids' heads, and take those like the people who are ambitious and love social media and help them learn how to make online internet money so that they can take care of their kids. Like that is like the long-term vision I have. I see a company making so much impact, helping so many women to like again learn how to make money online in a way that feels girly, authentic, and isn't tied to their time. I teach them systems so that like at this point for my marketing agency, like it requires less than 10 hours of work from me, and we're able to get clients incredible results. So being able to teach that to the masses, like a life that is meaningful, filled with helping people, making an impact, and living aligned, like that is the goal, that is the vision. And then on top of that, I see a pink helicopter that I'm jumping out of with my pink skydiving rig, and having all my girlfriends with me, where we're literally like falling through the Swiss Alps, like from a pink helicopter. Like I see that too, but that's more
Wait,
shallow.
are you, I gotta ask because are you a She Sells grad? Did you go through the Shelby
No, no,
program or
no.
no?
I did high ticket sales before Shelby
Okay.
um,
You just
blew
went to the
up.
event. You just went to the event and did
Yeah, no,
content.
I went to the event. They had a consulting offer. So Shelby's the best to have built a huge academy. So I mean, it's same, but instead of high ticket sales, it's social media management. So I got to meet with her and her team and chat with them, and it was incredible.
So by the way, can you see my screen here?
Yeah, I can.
Can you see your profile?
I can.
So I'm
Yeah.
trying to do this now for more of it. So I want to talk, what's one of your most favorite reels and talk about your profile really quick here.
Okay, yeah. So up until recently, I will say like I started the Academy 5 months ago. Before then, I was only doing like adventure and skydiving content. So I have so many reels with millions of views that are so far down because I switched niches, talking about like now I'm only talking about helping girls make money. I will say one of my favorite videos is probably pinned at the top.
Yeah.
And it's probably how to go viral on Instagram. I literally posted a few days ago,
Oh, this
but
was, yeah, this was the one I was watching.
yeah, I love this one. I love honestly getting to,
As a social media
Wait,
manager.
yeah,
wait.
I
Okay,
love.
so
The
most
way you talk so good during this and how you do it,
and most
and then
people
you're
on
on it
social
later
media
at the end.
literally just
No,
getting
I would say like this
free
one, and then
videos,
I have
no
another
idea
pin
how to
post where
customer.
I
That
am like
no
ice
customer
skating
have
at
a
the
reason to save and
Rockefeller
share the
rink
quote.
in New York
Companies,
City
service, brands,
and
literally
talking
whatever
about
it is,
marketing.
all
Yeah.
And I will say that like all of like the car one is basic, but like the one below it, I'm ice skating. Like that second one, the pinned middle one. So top middle, how to build your dream life.
Oh, top middle. Oh, this one right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Here I'm ice skating at Rockefeller Rink in New York City, and like honestly, getting to like again, these aren't gonna go as viral as my videos where I'm skydiving or kite surfing or I have all of these stuff from years ago or surfing. But in reality, like these are my favorite because I get to take people along on my adventures and my travels and like help educate them on how to build the business behind the scenes in a way that just feels so authentic to women. But outside of that, also my skydiving post is like there too. I have you know what? I have another post that it's going to be hard to find right now, but my friends and I, we did an exchange with, we went to the French Alps to do social media management for this snowboarding and skiing brand.
So this
Um,
this was the one that discovered you, how I found you, because I follow
yeah,
Shelby and she
yeah,
commented on it. This is the one I saw. And I had Elena
yeah,
Cardona on my podcast and all these people, right? So my goal is to have
yeah,
more women on the podcast. So you're fulfilling that. But
totally. Oh, if you go up, actually go up here a little bit. There's that one where I'm floating in the water. This one is so fun. My friend and I were on a brand trip to Jamaica doing social media management for hotels there. But getting to do just like fun, girly things like this, and we literally get paid to do this. Like this is what brands pay us for, which is so fun. And
when
I'm
you
like,
say brands, you do UGC content too? Because I've done some of that and I've done paid. I've done it. I've done everything once, cool, and it's paid to speak on stage. All the stuff that everyone wanted to do, I've done, and I've done it once, and then just would teach it. You know.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, some UGC, but and I teach girls the same thing. I only really sell people on retainer. So it's very rare we'll do one-off projects. A lot of these people are people that we have long-term partnerships with my agency. But yeah, I mean, overall, like just any activity where I'm like doing an activity and getting to talk about business, like combining my two favorite worlds, like that. Oh yeah, this was this morning. I literally just posted this. That's why it's like,
Yeah, by the way, but this is great. The reason why I'm doing it, I do personal branding. I
yeah,
tell everybody, be the content, do the content, talk about what you're doing while
yeah.
you're doing it, right? And
Oh,
we would run paid ads for people, but the vlog, this type of content will work so well because it builds out trust right away. And we're in a trust recession. So I just went back to vlogging now. So we're going to be doing that now that we're running paid ads for my copy offer. And it's the most fun content to do, I believe. It's the most fun, it's the most authentic, you get trust in it, you know? So I more
and the
want to.
most impactful. Like truthfully, I've realized like if anything is over edited, if you have like too many automations, like it feels like a sales thing. It's the same principle in sales, right? Like nobody wants to feel sold to. So the more yeah, nobody wants to feel sold to. So like the more it feels like you're picking up the phone and FaceTiming a friend and like being authentic, the better people react to it. The more edited, the more staged, the more this is how you build $1 million. Like people don't trust that anymore. Like the internet's filled with people reading Claude scripts. Like just pull out your phone and talk about what you're passionate about. And I agree with you. Yeah,
I got to
people.
change my number, by the way. Well, for a long time. So actually, it was Shelby's girls who put me behind a paywall. And when I did it, I put my actual number as my business number. And so many people would call it, and it was the worst thing I ever did.
Yeah,
But how do you let me ask you that question. How do you keep, because I'm sure now building a brand, you have everybody who wants to get coffee with you, meet you, the whole thing. How do you handle it?
that's a great question. And honestly, this is something that I feel like nobody really prepares you for. Like
Right.
people don't talk
Thank
about.
you. I'm gonna listen to this because I think I've handled it better now, but I want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to hear vice versa too, but I think specifically, and maybe it's just people pleasers in general. I like don't want to generalize this to women, but I will say, I think I've noticed a lot of women struggle with people pleasing even more. And I always say like I'm a recovering people pleaser. So learning that like your time is the most valuable asset, I think is a really hard switch to make. Because when I first started my business, I'm like, I genuinely have a good heart. I'm like, I want to help everybody. I want to meet for coffee with everybody. Like I want to be able to like
Same.
do all of this. But I've realized that it's more selfless for me to conserve my energy. And like it's more selfless for me to be able to reach like millions of people than it is for me to give like 20 hours of my week on one-on-one calls. And I'm also like, I've realized like it's okay to for people to be misunderstood when you have a bigger vision of what you're building.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, politely, like I will always, I always try to be present. And if I'm there with somebody, I'll never gatekeep. I'll give all my advice that I can for free. But yeah, I've gotten really good at saying no. And this is my year, my word this year. I pick a word every year. It's focus. So this year
Oh,
I've
that's
just
that's
learned to,
my word.
no
Focus.
way, twins. I
Yeah.
love it.
We do it
I'm
at
like,
we wait, are you a Christian or you
I
believe
am. Yeah,
in okay.
I am Christian. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% a Jesus guy. I was at the men's Planted Men. It's a group down here at the Move Miami. Where are you located, by the way?
I live in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Idaho. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So no, that's cool. It's good for adventure. But no, I live in Miami, and that's where I wanted to build my coffee shop, where my brother was, and everything. And there's a podcast studio, one of the best that we shoot when we do the in-person stuff, the Move Miami, and they do a Bible study, and they have everybody pick a word of the year, right, for it, and you hold
Yeah.
your through. So, and for me, with especially with AI and vibe coding, there's so many distractions that we could go
Yeah.
down, right? So you got to
Yeah. So many
stick
business. There's always a new business, a new thing you
as
can do.
boring
Yeah.
as copywriting is and doing webinars to sell, it still needed set and people need them. So find them in there. So let me ask you this then. What's your one, what does faith mean to you? What does God mean to you in life then? Because right now, where I believe we're close to maybe the Lord coming back and all that. So we're rebranding. This is the Make More Money podcast right now. You've made a lot of money. We're rebranding. I'm supposed to have Charlie Kirk on the podcast. He agreed and all that happened. So we're rebranding God, Family, and Freedom. I don't know if I'm going to run for president or whatever God's plan is or mine, but my whole point is to just start making more connections, getting more viral reach, kind of what you're saying, right? On there as well. So what's faith mean to you?
I love this question. I think faith is honestly freedom. Like it is one of the most freeing things you could ever have because and I think a lot of entrepreneurs will resonate with this, but I think where the gospel really resonated with me was understanding that, and especially growing up as a super competitive athlete, and a pastor's kid and like all the things. Like I have all of the
You're a
People
pastor's
pleasing.
kid too?
Yeah, I was a pastor's
Yeah,
kid.
so is Nathaniel, our head lead VA in PowerWorks Co. He's a pastor's kid, and he ministers to me on Zoom calls more than
Yeah.
anything.
Well, let me just say, like, I think where the first time I truly understood the gospel was understanding that, like, it is freedom to, you don't have to perform. You don't have to be good enough. There is nothing that you can ever do to add or subtract anything from your own worth. And like, that is so freeing because I had this realization, like, what the gospel means is that, like, when Jesus died on the cross for us, like, that was it. Like, our identity is no longer in ourselves and our creation, it's in Him and the sacrifice that He paid. So now I can wake up in the morning and I can be like, I'm already good enough. The battle is already won. Like, I have everything I need. Like, nothing on this earth really matters. And it's so freeing because what's the biggest thing that paralyzes people from taking risks or doing things in life? It's, I'm afraid of not being good enough,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm afraid that, like, I'm going to fail. I'm afraid that I'm unworthy, right? And so when you take on Christ's identity and you're like, you know what, like, actually, like, I'm already perfected, not because of who I am, but because of, like, Christ and what He did, it frees you to be able to walk through life and take risks and build things and move things and lean into the talents that God has given you in a way that otherwise, like, you're unstoppable because your identity, like, anymore, like, fail or not fail, like, I'm no better or worse, like, rich or poor, like, no better or worse, like, my identity is clean, like, I'm whole. And I think that like, being able to live from freedom rather than, like, fighting a, I think most people live through life like fighting a battle trying to win. And getting, I think the beauty of being, like, of understanding the gospel is like, no, the battle is already won. Like, it's already done. And I get to walk from freedom rather than for it. And I think a lot of Christians miss that too. I think a lot of people spend their whole lives, like, fighting a battle that God already won. And instead of waking up and being like, God, like, I today, thank you. I get to celebrate the fact that you've already paid the price. Like, you've already covered my identity. Like, I'm good enough because of who you are, not because of who I am. And therefore, I can put myself out on the internet. Like, I can talk about the things I'm passionate about. I can fall flat on my face because guess what? Like, make this investment and lose it. Like, okay, like, I'm no better or worse as a human because of it. And I think that has been a freeing reality that I hope that every person listening to this podcast, like, gets to experience at some point throughout their life.
Yeah, Sam, this is why I'm so glad I do this podcast, have you on just to hear the message that you said there. And it's funny, I used to say pretty much the same thing. People say, hey, how do you do content? How do you do this? And there's two things that'll happen too. You'll have Satan either tell you that he's where fear comes from, like you're not good enough, etc. And those are the thoughts in it, right? When Jesus already paid the price, you already know everything. Or he'll then tout up your ego and say, hey, you're great, you don't need God, right? So that's why it's always good to give the Lord all the credit on what you do, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah, so
uh,
good.
what's so okay? Where can so what's let me ask this. So this is the Make More Money Podcast. These are the last five questions we ask usually. What's one thing like one relationship advice, business relationship you have, business or
Yeah.
like one relationship advice you have? I ask everybody on that because
Yeah, I've learned that at the beginning of doing business, I assumed that partnering with people who were rich or knew rich people would make me rich. And I have learned that that is not always the case. Like, I've learned to trust, if you know your zone of genius, like, trust yourself and don't outsource. Like, I will truthfully say, like, be very careful with who you partner with. That's, like, one thing I wish that somebody would have told me sooner is, like, just because somebody just because somebody had success in real estate doesn't mean they're going to be able to help you in social media. Like, be very strategic about only partnering with people who have, like, concrete evidence that, like, they can help you with the thing that you're partnering with. So that's one thing I wish somebody told me sooner.
yeah, no, I agree. And one thing, I went to the Vault event. We're going to be going there again. And one thing Patrick does, he talks about core values and I never got it, right? But I only partner with people who had the core values that we had. And it helped me save some really bad partnerships. All right, what's one money tip? You know, maybe there's a young girl on here. She's making $3,000 a month, right? She wants it. What was one money tip you would give her?
You already have the skills you need to make money. So figure out what your high leverage skill is. Is it social media management? Is it TikTok shop? Like, you probably already have a skill that a brand will pay $2,000 to $5,000 a month for. Get 3 to 5 clients on retainer for that skill and keep those clients so that you're making six figures forever.
Well, that's actually the most concrete on this one that we've got it with the blueprint there. I love it.
Yeah.
And then I was a teacher for years. I taught behavioral middle school and everything, or a substitute teacher technically. But I got in kind of a fight with the principal because I thought we were teaching all the wrong stuff, right? And I did in the IEP, I made the kid test and he wasn't allowed to test, but the kid had it all planned out. So my goal to by building all these online courses, 'cause I built a ton of the online courses for some of the guys been
Yeah.
behind, right? Was to change the education system.
Yeah.
What's one thing you would do to change the education system?
Man, I honestly would say I would one thing I would do to change the education system is like go pay for a high leverage skill that can make you a lot of money instead of paying $40,000 for a communications degree so you can go work at Starbucks. Like I wish somebody would have told me sooner to like buy an online course or pay for mentorship from somebody. Like I think in the day and age we're in, it makes so much more sense to find somebody who's built what you want to build, who's living the life that you want to live and pay them. Like go pay them to shadow them, pay them to work for free for them and learn how they run their business. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking about, but otherwise, join the Dream Life Academy. I'll help you. I'll
Yeah.
help you do it.
How and that's falls into where can they find you? How can I mean we'll put the
Yeah.
link in the bio, but how can the girl join the Dream Life Academy?
Yeah, so you guys, this isn't for everyone. Like you have to be interested in social media management and you have to like have the ambition to be willing to learn a skill that you don't know right now. So what I will say is I host a free masterclass. I actually don't let anybody who doesn't come to the masterclass join the academy because we only want to let girls in who are like,
That's a great way to do it, actually. I'm gonna adopt that right now. I never
yeah.
even thought of that. I'm gonna have everybody watch the masterclass before they join the program.
Totally. So I don't even record any of them. You have to be live. So they happen every Thursday at 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. If you're in a Europe time zone, let me know. I can get you on a call with one of my Dream Girl onboarding team. But yeah, go to my Instagram page. Just DM me Dream Life or click the link below. We're gonna include the link to the masterclass there. But just come for free. What do you have to lose? Come learn about social media management. I will teach you everything you need to know. So at the end of that 3 hour, you have a game plan to be able to make your first six figures in the next year and like build the life that you dream of. So just come to the masterclass. Follow on Instagram, the official Dream Life Academy, and I give away so much free information. And then for the girls who are ready, we let a select few in the program. And yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. And by the way, I was going to answer a question you had before. You were like, hey, what do you do when people like want to meet you for
yeah,
coffee? So I would always be like, join my program. People don't join the program. So what I did was I made and I just did it. I live in this nice place in Miami, right? So I was
yeah.
doing consulting for a lady in the hot tub. So I did on my Instagram story, hey guys, if you want me to look over your business or anything like that, here's the link. And I paid this paid call, which we're making a book a call funnel now. But the lady bought 850 and she's like, yo, I would have bought more if that was the case, right? And next thing you know, I'm looking for a copy for emails. So I made a paid call link from that. So if anybody wants to meet me in Miami, we
Yeah,
have that up there
I
too.
love it.
It worked out pretty well because I'm like you. I can't not meet someone, not gatekeep or not share secrets, right? Where
Totally.
I want to help. I know where
What
it's
I
at.
needed.
God's give us their thing. And Myron Golden, one of the guys taught me this. We have a skill set. Some people pay a lot for it. Some people will pay a little bit, and sometimes they won't pay for it. But it's your God-given gift. Just go give it. And just the
Absolutely.
best
Like
thing we have. Yeah. What did you say?
our responsibility is to plant the seeds, not make the tree grow. So it's like
Yeah.
I love that Alex. I'm gonna go on a tiny bit of a tangent here, but I love the Alex Hormozy analogy where he started his gym and he went over to a very successful gym owner and was like, "How did you like get all the customers in your gym?" And he's like, "Flyers." So Alex goes and his team
I
printed
like
like,
third.
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they print like 100 flyers and they get like maybe one client from it. He goes back to his mentor and he's like, "Why'd you lie to me? Like we didn't get anybody." And he's like, "Well, how many did you do?" He
What
was like,
was your
100.
test size? Was what
Yeah.
it,
And
yeah.
he's like, we do 1,000 a day. And so I think like to what you were saying
It
with
was
like plant
actually, it was
seeds,
actually just, because I've done that guerrilla marketing. It's actually 15,000 they do a day. And he
that's
did like
crazy.
500. And yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Like, I'm like totally butchering the numbers, but that's the exact
I just
analogy.
heard it the other day too. And I've heard that
Yeah.
one many times.
And so for me, like to what you were saying, it's like our job is like some people are gonna want to buy from you, some people aren't. Doesn't matter. Like if you put in a certain, regardless of whether you do your 1,000 outreaches over the course of a year or over the course of a month, like you'll build the business. It's a sales funnel. It's a numbers game. So just like you just have to be willing to put in the numbers and do it sooner than later.
Yeah, good. Well, Natalia, thank you so much for coming on. You
Thank you for
eventually
having
want to
me.
join. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Where can people follow you? What's your Instagram tag or is that
Yeah.
the way?
Yeah, my Instagram tag is at Natalia Adventures, Nathalia Adventures. But yeah, come follow along. I will teach you everything you need to know to make a ton of money and have a lot of fun. I think I will say what I think my unique selling proposition is that there's a lot of people out there who are going to teach you how to work 40 hours a week and maybe make 10K. I will teach you how to design your life in a way where you have so much fun doing it. And I think a lot of people miss out on the fun part.
No, that's true, man. I have so much fun from it. I get to do what I want. It is true. Thoroughly endorse everything. I'm a big connector, so I'm glad I got to meet you. No,
Me
it
too.
it totally lives up to the billing what I thought. And but definitely we're gonna when I do my event, I'm gonna do an event too. Maybe do you do a lot of speaking or no?
Yeah, I do some, so I would
All
love
right, well,
to.
maybe
Yeah,
more. You speak very well. You
thank
a lot of the lot of the common values. So I look forward to seeing what comes in the
you.
future in the dream. All right.
You too. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff.